My name's Dyck. If you have any questions, just ask. It's a very easygoing clinic. If anybody attended the intermediate clinic, it's quite similar. The same basics apply to snowboarding on an alpine board. So we just turn up the intensity a little bit of what we did in the intermediate. So prerequisites: I want you to be able to at least skid down a blue run and carve left and right. If you can do those two things, come on in. If you're nervous on a blue, well, hopefully we can reduce some of that nervousness. Key thing with these clinics is I'm not going to make you an awesome snowboarder today. What? I'd like to. I'm out. But I'm going to try to give you a set of tools to let you practice on your own for the rest of your life. So just some things to think about. So some common pitfalls when you get on steeps, you start chattering the turns, you're making really big radius turns, and then with that comes speed. Just way too fast, and you chicken out and busting a skid. We're going to try to fix that. Now, with that said, there's nothing wrong with skidding a turn if something's going bad. I don't want anybody going to the trees, into each other, whatever. We were going to keep this pretty low key, like I said. Okay, so the one thing we talked about in the intermediate clinic is angulation. That's tipping the board up higher than you're standing. So you can imagine me on a toe side turn. If I don't angulate at all, it's just lean the body onto the toe edge, heel side, it's up straight. What I want you instead to do is push the sidewall of the board in the snow. So instead of being up straight, we drop the hip towards the snow. Look how the board tips up when I do that. Body, chest and shoulders are fairly upright. Board's in the snow, shoulders are facing the nose. And we're going to go up to the top of this chair, and there's a little bit of a run to the next chair, and I want you to really practice this exercise on the way down. Focus on pushing the sidewall of the board into the snow, like that. Not like this, pushing the board down away from you. It's pushing the board sideways into the snow. So you'll ride a little bit, it feels a little bit slower because you're not all burly, lots of aggression driving the board in the snow. It's controlled pressure of the side into the snow. On the toe side, oh sorry, one thing on the heel side. To get yourself in that position, a good reminder, rear hand on your front knee. Push your shoulders towards the nose of the board, drops your hip sideways to the snow, it's just all good. You don't have to ride your whole day with your hand on your knee.
Or you go like that.
Yeah, you can do one of these, you know. But that's the body position. Later on, you get more aggressive, you start going lower, and I mean your hands are out. Hands are both in front of you though. Toe side. We go, same thing. We're going to tip the board in. We're going to drop both of our knees towards the snow a bit. Body's still upright. You can feel us, again, we're pushing the sidewall into the snow. Think of scraping mud off your shoe in a curb. Right? That's the motion I want you to feel when you're turning. This one, your front hand can go on your knee. So for the goofy footers, let's grab this thing. For the goofy footers, on your heel side, it's going to be your left hand on your knee as you drop into it. Your toe side, it's going to be your right hand on your front knee, both on the front knee. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up the express here. As we go off, we're going to turn right, and you're going to stay to skier's left, and you'll see the chair Cloud 9. So just keep going left until you see the Cloud 9 chair. We'll regroup at the top of that. It's kind of a small unloading area, so go away from the lift so other people can get off again. Let's go play. Wait, it's supposed to be serious, right? It's pretty
you're supposed to be the master, the carving master.
Having fun.
The teacher.
We're having fun.
Sensei.
Sure.
Okay. Corey, having fun.
Fun. This is serious fun. So this next part, the run we rode over on the chairs is the run we're going to be doing. The key thing you may have noticed is there are poles in the middle of the run. Don't hit the poles. It's good to abort and go bust into a skid if you think you're in danger of hitting a pole. We are going to go down. It's a fairly easy pitch at the start, and I want you to all work on that hand touching the knee thing again, pressing the sidewall into the snow. And when we get that steep part, we're going to go just past the lip and stop, and we're going to do the next drill. What we're going to do in this exercise, for those of you that were in the intermediate clinic, I talked about the end of the turn controls your speed. So if you can imagine, think of a racer. they're turning as little as they can back and forth across the hill to carry speed. But we're free carvers. We don't want to go 60 miles an hour. We want to go a bit slower. So instead, we're going to do a big C-shaped turn. And that last third of the turn is what scrubs all your speed. So you can imagine, instead of doing just big or little shallow arcs like this, we're going to turn it into a big C either way. Make sense? So for this exercise, we're going to just basically hit over to the right side of that pole however you can. And we're going to do what's called a J turn. Just as you'd imagine. You go down, hook a J and go back uphill. And I want you to come to a stop when you're doing this. Now, before you do this, look uphill. Make sure it's not a skier going where you're going to do a J. And we're going to do two, or basically do one to the left, stop, go to the other side of the run, do one to the right, stop. What the drill is it's feeling the power in that last third of the turn when you're going across the fall line and even up it. That's where you control all your speed. When you get to really, really steep stuff, you end up doing just that. You go uphill just a little bit to scrub speed, and then you start your next turn. We're not doing the next turn yet. I want you to literally fall over. When stuff's going bad, just turn uphill and you'll come to a stop. That's always your bailout option, no matter what terrain you're on. Yeah, I know, it sucks. Once we get lower. See how he pressures and he lets it go? Pressure, let go. Pressure. Flip.
I haven't seen a hand up, but maybe it has. No.
Oh, that was a lot of skiing.
Doesn't work?
Cross the ball line, switches in. Alright. Pressure, 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 stall. Pressure, stall. Very controlled, not very fast. You want to go faster? Finish, so you're going a bit more down the hill. Finish your next turn. Going too slow? Wrap it up the hill a bit more. There's your brake pedal on a carving snowboard right there. So trees work. They stop. They're a little abrupt. I'm not a fan myself. Bob likes trees, I heard. Not picking on you, Bob. We've all hit trees at some point in our snowboarding lives. Okay, so for this next little part down here, we don't have much to go to the lift. Play with this same thing. It shallows out down there. If you wrap a turnaround, you're going to really come to a dead stop. So you'll feel the difference between up there, you had to do a full sweep across the fall line. Down here, you can end the turn much earlier to keep your speed up. Okay, so we'll go down to the lift, back up, and work on the next lesson. Actually, any questions? Making sense? Yeah. Great, hi! Ah, yeah. Let's, 2 minutes, when you were in the intermediate clinic, the touching the knees, first off. Yeah. Gotta really get the board angulated too high up on edge. The next part is speed control. You do a turn. You start your turn, you start coming downhill, you accelerate quite a bit. But that last third of the turn, as you're coming across the fall line, you'll slow down dramatically. So if you're going too fast, you can wrap that right around, even go back up the hill if needed to slow down. And then you're in the right speed for the next turn. So that was the drill we just did. We did some J turns, and then some big S's going down the hill. And basically, you control your speed by how far around the turn you go. Somebody had said
said if they felt like they're going too slow, okay, don't go right across the fall line, end it sooner and start the next turn before you go across. On steeps, wrap it right around so you're going almost uphill and start the next turn. Okay, let's go on the left. We're going right back to the top again. Because you don't want to end on the tail while you're still going to the fall line. Boards don't really turn very well when you're on the tail.
Yeah.
So that's a long skill. If you're not sure, center your weight. On really good snow, you move your weight forward in general. On soft stuff, you got to take your weight back, like the last few days have been, right? It's a lot to think about. So basics, if something's going wrong, center your weight. You guys a preview of the next lesson. It's going to be early pressure in the turn. So when we talked about this in the intermediate clinic you took, is we're going to do that down weighting, as Finn called it, where you start the turn and you come down and you put some weight on the board early in the turn so it starts turning tighter. Because most people, when they do a turn, they flip it on edge and wait, and pressure builds, and oh, there it is, and the board has a hook at the end. And that's where you chatter out. So as we get going faster and faster, we have to manage that weight on the board as you go through the turn. Now I want to add one more layer to it. When you're going fast, you feel that pressure build up in the turn. Where I talked about, you slow down that last third of the turn. There's a lot of pressure between you and the board and the snow there, and the board can start chattering and wash out there. And you think of every time you chatter out of a turn, it's always after you've gone down the fall line and you're starting to cut across. And the board. Fair enough. There we go. It's not a mind reader, but everybody has the same problem. How do you fix that? Well, you think about it, why does it chatter? It's too much pressure. So what instead we want to do, instead of flipping the board on edge and wait for it, you wait for the board to hook and start turning, and then all of a sudden you get the bit of pressure and it hooks. As it turns sharper, you're pushing down on it more, which makes it turn more, which makes you put more pressure on it, which makes it turn more. It's a vicious cycle you can't get out of. You end up chattering. Instead, what we'll get you to do is we're going to spread that pressure out around. Instead of having minimal pressure, minimal, lots of pressure here. Instead, we're going to tip the board up on edge, and we're going to, as soon as we flip the board over, we're going to, Finn called it down weighting. We're going to push the nose of the board into the snow. We've got great snow today, we can do this. Soft, I'm going to caution you, careful with the nose. It's real easy to pop over the nose and do a front flip, really soft stuff. But on this, probably not going to happen. So, you're coming in, we'll run through this. You're coming in a left turn. As you switch the edges and start the next edge, as soon as it's up on edge, we're going to load the board up. What that's going to do is it's going to bend it into the turn and start turning early. Then the idea is, as you come around the turn, you can actually let off a bit of pressure as you come around. So early pressure, that down weighting onto the nose, get the board in an arc. As you come around, you can kind of let the board run a little free. You're still going to finish the turn to your speed, and then the same thing for the next turn. So a whole bunch to think about. But the gist is, hold the nose, keep the board turning, ride it around. You can play with that as we go down this gentler pitch here, before you get to the steeps where it gets a little more serious. Okay, we'll meet at the same spot we did last time. Cross your fingers that we'll have these school buses skiers getting off at the same time. All right, sorry everybody, I've never seen this many people on the hill before, but hopefully at least you got a few of those in. Anybody get to try that? Push the board in the snow early?
Yeah, it's surprising.
It turns.
It happened really fast and I wasn't ready for it.
Oh, but you're still here, so it's all good. What we're doing is we're putting, if you were to draw most people's carves before we learn this tip, it would be a big, giant radius, and as the load builds up, it's going to be a hook at the end. And same with the other way, a big radius, hook. Doing this, pressure early, it becomes almost a constant radius around the turn. So we have less pressure, less load at the end of the turn, and it's just easier. Now this is the true test, is something a little steeper. Again, if something's going wrong, you're going too fast, keep turning up the hill. You can always, if stuff goes bad, you always have the option of turning up the hill and stopping, no matter how bad it is.
And look though.
And look. Looks cool?
No, look.
Look, right. I tried to demonstrate when I was doing the last run. Whenever I was finishing a toe side, peek up the hill before I go, then launch to the next one. If you look up the hill and you see somebody coming straight line, making the dollar sign, straight down the middle, abort. Turn up the hill and stop. Just, you'll live another day to do it again.
Like, if you're constantly going too fast, you constantly have to go up the hill, what's the way to...
This next exercise, pressure early. The idea is you'll instead of slowing down your carving at the very end of the turn, you'll slow down progressively through the whole thing.
No, but
Well,
I'm talking by doing that, my turn, I'm going across faster.
Going across faster. Probably because you entered faster. We'll go with that.
All right.
It's a vicious circle. Once you start slowing down, what's really funny is on a narrow run, if you see some like near pro carvers, they actually go pretty slow because they're just back and forth, back and forth. The actual speed is quite slow. That's it. And like I said, you pick your own speed. Okay, let's do more of the same. You're
On the hillside, you
Yeah.
recommend burying your back knee a little? To your
Um,
front knee? Put a little more flex on the board?
it's your front foot on a hard snow. The front foot does all the work. It's you get the board decambered, and the tail will just come along for the ride. It's in that nose bend, especially with the modern free carve boards that are smaller radius in the nose. All your turning's done on the nose of the board. Get that nose planted, get a trench started, and it'll ride around. If it's soft and choppy, yeah, you can't drive the nose as much, or it'll just sink and launch you over the nose.
It's not really leaning back, it's just not putting as much pressure on the nose.
I like to think of it as you push the board in front of you. So for me as a regular footer, it's sliding the board ahead of me in the soft step. But for now, just for one thing to think about for this one, I want everybody to put their weight on the nose of the board and finish the turn. A key tip for anybody that has problems with your cameras, it's called Kodak Courage.
Well, of course, we totally lost the snow.
He's disgustingly smooth, so we'll just ignore what Steve does. The key thing is, press the nose as soon as you switch edges. The board should hook, ride it around. Maybe I'll go be a less extreme example. Cross our fingers, no people coming. Always keep yourself moving either up or down. So if you start with a down weight, then you're going to be slowly extending as you go through the turn. Extreme carve guys, they do different stuff. They start with their body crouched and they push the board away from them and suck it up at the end. There's 1,000 ways to do it. But for the purpose of this clinic, just those 3 points. Angulation, get the board in the snow, make a round arc, and early pressure in the turn. Load the nose up. Okay, makes sense to everybody? So now, like I said, I'm not going to make you awesome snowboarders, but I've given you something to think about for every day you ride from now on. And if you're having a bad day, just like for those of you who took the intermediate clinic, go back to putting your hand on your knee. When things just aren't working, go right back to that drill in a green or a blue or whatever you're comfortable with and feel the board turn. And then you build back from there. Because we all have ups and downs, right? You have a bad day, you have a good day. You can make a bad day a good day going back to these 3 things. Okay, awesome. everybody, you've been rocking. It's really cool to see the improvements. Thanks for working, everybody.
Thank you, Corey.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Corey.
I've got pretty much photos of everybody. I'll be posting them. I'll give you guys the URL, and you'll be able to compare your position with your other riders here today, which really helps as well.
Key things to look for in the picture. If you're on your toe side and you're doing this, well, you're going the wrong way. You're supposed to be driving the board into the snow. And same with heel side. If you're leaning over straight, touching the snow, and you should see shoulders facing the nose on the heel side for sure. That's the one everybody has problems with. Everybody, toe sides seem to come naturally, but heel sides, people tend to sit in the back or sit rotated the wrong way. You want to drive to the nose of the board. Okay, thanks again, everybody. An awesome class. Have fun.